Welcome into 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase. I'm a level 1 CMT and full-time trader. Today we're going to look at Ethereum. We're going to first start off with ETH USD, and then we're going to switch and compare ETH with Bitcoin. So if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want access to our private Telegram alerts group where we stay on top of all crypto, market caps, everything and more, everything you could possibly want. No surprises. Keep you updated on everything going on in the markets on a daily basis. A lot of extra content. Consider subscribing through Patreon. You get access through that. All right, let's get right to it. The monthly chart for Ethereum USD. Where are we? What does it mean? I'm glad you asked. So move up off of the lows from 1500, right? This trend line that's been intact since June of 2022, right? We started forming this, right? Trend lines are significant and only that they show you where the trend is going, right? You want to use that necessarily for support and resistance, but this is certainly tending to follow that rule. So $1,500 bouncing up, right? A little bit of a cool off. If you put it on closing prices, I mean, just the uptrend is clear, right? Pretty clear on a monthly perspective, the macro. The EMA 8 on the monthly is currently just south of 2,800. So potentially could see that, but you can see these low wicks already potentially, kind of flirting with that, right? So Gaussian Channel, the top of it, around 2,400. Also, we note the 21-month EMA is right there as well. And also these swing lows, right? These zones tend to be a little bit more important on the weekly. We're going to look at that in a moment, but still you can kind of see these areas of support for ETH USD. The swing lows here matching the top of the Gaussian at the low part, and also likely the 21-month when we get to it. Unlikely in a bull run, once you get above the Gaussian channel on the monthly perspective, that you're going to go back into it. So the lows, mid 2000s for ETH, that would be kind of about it. If, Bitcoin wants to kick the bucket here, go back to 50K, something thereabouts, you could potentially see Ethereum kind of doing something like this. It's worth noting, at least, that this is the first kind of bigger support zone, right? We don't really have anything else up here except for the EMA 8 monthly, which we've already nearly visited, okay? So now we'll zoom in to the weekly chart. This is where it starts to get a little bit more clear on these zones, right? Swing highs, right? Resistance, previous swing lows, support. Broken down in the bear markets, right? Come back up, make our way back up here, right? Previous high zone, resistance zone, break through, come back, retest it to support, break up again, resistance, surprise. Why did we hold there for several weeks, right? Previous swing lows is support, flipping to resistance, break through, come back. Now, in a bull run, right, we could potentially go back to this area, which we talked about on the monthly, right? That's why we looked at it first, around that $2,400, $2,500 area. This is that zone right here, right? Look at how low the Gaussian channel is at the upper band is already really starting to move up. A good sign, right? So highly unlikely that Ethereum goes back below 2K, right? We have double kind of support here. And even our previous bigger resistance, bear market flipping to bull market, worst case scenario looks like around 2K for Ethereum if everything just goes terrible. I don't foresee that happening. We also have this trend line that's been intact for years now, right? Rising as well, right through that zone. So if we were to get there, it would likely take months. And keep in mind, 2000, probably about as bad as it's going to get. I don't foresee that happening, right? Based on this. I mean, look at this chart. If anything, this is very bullish right here. Look at closing prices. Does this look like it's bearish at all? Or does it, in fact, look more like a bull flag to me, right? Look at this move up. I mean, just paint this picture here, right? Flag right off the 21 week. I would give this a higher probability than this, right? Just based on the chart. Not in my opinion. That chart looks great. Testing the 21 week in a bull market is absolutely healthy and very bullish. Right? Look at this move. Held the line. 3 so far out of the past 4 weeks of testing it. And actually, we're 100% so far on testing it and closing above it. We have 3 days until we close this weekly candle. This exact number is at 29.45 as of right now. Right? We can see that 21-week EMA. So if we close above that, higher probability of going up than down. So if we do bounce here, then all our eyes on the all-time highs. Are we going to put in a lower high or a higher high? So if we bounce and start to move higher, right, our first high is at 3,300. Take that out. Then our next high really should be focusing on about 4,000. Just looking at this chart fundamentally, right, those are the levels you need to be looking at. This is more bullish than bearish for sure. I want to go also back and revisit this monthly chart real quick because I want to show you something that I did not talk about. This monthly EMA 8, around 2,800, right? Which we've already gotten very close. Is that typical in a bull run? And it's, of course. Go even all the way back to how bullish Ethereum got here. Monthly tags of the EMA 8 were very common all throughout this. Let's go back even further at the start, right? Look at this. Tags of the monthly EMA 8, right? Once you get above it and above the Gaussian channel on any time frame, you're less likely to come back in. Certainly on the higher time frames, the monthly, right? That was the bear market, right? If you're wondering, like, I just saw it inside. That was the bear market, right? But after you leave it and the Gaussian channel is green, you're unlikely to come back in there, which also backs up the theory that we're unlikely to go back under like the 2K area, right? So keep this in mind for all the perma bears on Ethereum. Ethereum's still technically, per the chart, not my opinion, looking very strong. Put it on a line chart. Where's the bears? This looks perfectly fundamentally sound and bullish. All right. Just to be perfectly clear on where I stand here. Ethereum Bitcoin, let's flip over. Now we have a little bit of a different story here. Ethereum Bitcoin looks pretty weak here and has been in a multi-year downtrend and still holding resistance every single week that it's tested it. No closes above there, right? For years. So maybe Ethereum doesn't quite get as strong as it has been in history, right? I doubt Ethereum ever does these kind of parabolic moves against Bitcoin again, right? Bitcoin big money is here. It's going to be very difficult for big money and altcoins to flip that, barring, something that's not here yet, an Ethereum ETF approval, perhaps, right? But let's give credit where credit is due and show that Ethereum is definitely in a bear market against Bitcoin. Doesn't mean the valuations in fiat or USD can't go up. But if you're going to hold Ethereum or Bitcoin, the clear winner is Bitcoin here, right? For now. Now, flipping some of your Bitcoin to Ethereum at these support zones might not be a bad idea, because what if Ethereum does, parabolic, wall against Bitcoin again? What if, right? So moving some, certainly during alt season, which I still think is likely a few months away, given the current price action over the past couple of weeks out of Bitcoin. Alt season's likely delayed a little bit longer here now, probably to midsummer. But side note on that, right? That's likely when Bitcoin would start to fall, when Bitcoin dominance starts to fall. And we're still not there. We're still at mid 50s, right? Bitcoin dominance up here. That's going to be key to watch. Once it goes back under 50, then I would expect Ethereum and altcoins to really start putting in bigger moves against Bitcoin. So where do you dollar cost average some of your Bitcoin over to Ethereum? Well, it's at the support levels, right? You want to, generally speaking, buy at support, sell at resistance, and do not much else. Taking profits, right? Right? When you go on these parabolic runs, you don't just hold for years and then come back down, right? You sell after parabolic rallies. You buy after, years of downtrends, right? At support zones. Now we've taken out this local support. Accumulating some in here was a pretty decent idea, but we're under the 200 week. We're in a multi-year downtrend. The Gaussian channel on the weekly is red. So could we potentially move lower? Of course, right? That would be the odds, right? The downtrend is still intact. Now the next spot, if you go out to the monthly, right? We haven't looked at the monthly yet. Make it a little bit easier here. And not only are we in a bear trend on the weekly, but look at what has just happened, right? We closed April under the median Gaussian channel. So we're by definition bearish here on the monthly Gaussian. So our next low spot is this low monthly close from November of 2017. Significant amount of time ago. Maybe even knocking on the door of 7 years. Give it a couple more months, right? If we come down here, 7 years apart, flipping support to support again. Perhaps, right? Resistance, support, flip to resistance, breakthrough, flip it back to support. That 4,300 level for ETH BTC could be a key pivotal moment. Maybe we end up getting a wick. Having an open order of your Bitcoin to flip to Ethereum right here around the 4,400 mark. Generally speaking, that sounds like a great idea. The fib extension, right? The 0.5 is at way down at 3,700, 3,800. But look at this zone, right? Why? The flip high, swing highs here from our 2018 bear market, right? Start, resistance, resistance, resistance for years. Potentially come back down here, 3,800. So 2 orders here, big orders, right? If you're going to flip your Bitcoin over to Ethereum, right? This is the safest play. Generally for whales, only stick to Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's the safest play. You don't have to play anything else than this. If you have $1 million or plus, right? I mean, why would you want to fool around with burning that, right? Just flip from Ethereum to Bitcoin. You'll do very well, right? This is the safest play. Forget everything else. Worth mentioning for maybe the future, maybe your future self, right? If you get in, a couple years from now and you're doing very well, maybe just keep 80% in Ethereum Bitcoin and just trade this pair. You can do that for the entirety of a bull run or a bear run or a bear market, bull market, bear market. Just swip back and forth from ETH BTC. You'd be surprised how much bigger your Bitcoin and Ethereum values get over time. Do 20% in shit coins or gambling or meme coins, but 80% as a general rule of thumb in ETH BTC will go a long way for decades, right? Potentially, right? Assuming crypto is going to be around, which I would assume if you had to pick any 2 coins that is going to be around forever in the crypto market, assuming that it will, Ethereum, Bitcoin, right? Side notes. All right. Hopefully this paints a big picture, right? Not often do you get a chance to look at Ethereum, Bitcoin on a monthly and weekly perspective with the Gaussian channel. So hopefully this is relatively new and a little bit more eye-opening from what you've seen about it, right? Weekly perspective, right? Still downtrend. These 2 zones still look good. The 382 is at 4,600, right? Note these fib levels, right? You want to make a note there. You can also right-click alerts, right? And also just noticing this 382 level. Look at where we just wicked to. Could that potentially be the low? Of course, right? You'd want to watch for a break of this trend line. If that breaks, these highs break, right? This is definitely bullish for Ethereum if this line right here breaks. Previous support, flip to resistance, 6,000 level falls. Ethereum's off to the races, very likely to the bullish side. So this fib level has just been tapped a couple weeks ago. We could go lower. Here's your support levels, right? Till we do more Bitcoin over to Ethereum right here. So hopefully this helps someone out there. If it helps one person, right? Let me know in the comments so I can do more of these videos. I know these are more boring videos for the majority of retail. I know this will be the least viewed video I've probably ever put out. But someone out there maybe got some info and I want to hear from you. I appreciate it. All right, so let's get to quote of the day. Change your life today. Don't gamble on the future. Act now without delay. Dr. Seuss. Just kidding. Good, right? If you want to change your life, you got to change your life. All right. Super special car of the day. The Dodge Charger Elephant. Spectacular. You're like, that doesn't exist. And you'd kind of be right. The engine does, but this car doesn't quite yet. But 1,000 horsepower American muscle car. This could probably smoke about anything out there. Amazing. Even if you not into American cars, American muscle, I mean, you got to respect this. 1,000 horsepower. Look at those wheels. I mean, it just looks sinister, right? There's the rear of it. Amazing. I will definitely take one of these. I think they'll set you back. If they come out, they're rumored to be about $200K. That's pretty batshit crazy for a 2-door coupe American muscle car, but to each his own. I think they'd sell some. There's one in real life. Those are kind of drawings, but they made one in real life, right? You can buy the crate engine now if you wanted. So what does that mean? You can just buy the engine from Dodge, and they'll ship it to your house. And if you got a Challenger like this, you can put it in there. Or even the Hellcat. If you have a Dodge Hellcat, which is the Charger or Challenger, you can put it in either. You can do a swap, engine swap, 1,000 horsepower. They're around. People have done it. I even showed you, if you've been watching my channel for a while, they put one in a Jeep Gladiator. The Elephant Gladiator, we covered that. I saw one at a car show. They were like $250K for a Jeep Gladiator with the Elephant engine in it. So I can't imagine how fast this would be. Roll cage standard, of course you need that because damn, 1,000 horsepower. Whew. That would be amazing to see in person and hear that start up. You imagine that, like straight piped, how loud that would be? Probably deafen you. You just rev it and you're deaf, ringing in your ears. Elephant, 1,000 horsepower American muscle. I would imagine the 0-60 in this car would probably be around 2 seconds. Batshit quick. All right, I'll see you on the next one. We'll end it on batshit quick. Elephant.